It's game time, we ain't playing with you. It's game time, it's game time, we ain't playing with you. That's how we ball for y'all.
What up, what up, what up, what up? You're rocking with Doo-Wop. Thank you for joining for episode 98. Round of applause. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Let's just jump into some topics, man. So yeah, we're here at the point that the Stray was actually negotiating again. They went back and negotiated and said, yeah, we're gonna reopen it because they came to some type of agreement because of the cease fire and Limina, you know. But now, someone always gotta, they said, hey, something was not right. I guess with the negotiation because now one of the Iranians opened up fire to one of the tanks that was passing through the Stray. On they said on a gunboat. So damn, that didn't last too long. you know, um, this is where we're at now. It's to the point where it's like, is it gonna be open? Is it not gonna be open? Who's gonna run it? Who's gonna control it? We were still in negotiation. Or we was point is saying that we was making a deal, but it looks like they're still not happy. They're still not happy with something. Something behind the scenes is going wrong, and we still can't come to an agreement. But it's almost getting to that deadline where Donald Trump did say, where I think like next week, where he said, "Hey, we did put a cease fire, but now hey, if this thing don't get back open, we're gonna go back bombing again." And it's like once you think you're like almost close to ending the war, it's still war. It's still war. It's still war, and it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon because this is the key to everything right now. And it's just stupid because now there was a negotiation giving them like $20 billion, and that's basically going to help them rebuild everything back out in Iran. What the U.S. is destroyed, you know. But somebody's still not happy. Somebody's still not happy. So yeah, so that's somebody had to break it down. I'm sure a clip and they broke it down.
Minutes ago, Iran has shut down the Strait of Hormuz again. In a major escalation, Iranian officials say the Strait of Hormuz is now back under full military control, and normal shipping movement has been restricted. According to reports, Iran took this step after accusing the United States of continuing its blockade despite earlier assurances. A spokesperson for the Iranian military warned that unless the U.S. ensures free and safe navigation, the strait will remain under Iran's control and could stay closed. This is a huge development because the Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important oil routes in the world, carrying a significant portion of global energy supplies. Any disruption here can impact oil prices, global trade, and economic stability worldwide. Tensions between the US and Iran are now rising again, even as diplomatic efforts continue in the background. Right now, the situation is extremely sensitive, because if this standoff continues, the risk of a wider conflict increases dramatically. The world is watching closely. Breaking news.
And we are watching. Everybody is watching close, and we know how this oil we was talking about. The oil keeps increasing. It went up tremendously, double almost in certain places. But this was where it was supposed to be some hope. Where now the strait is supposed to be open, and then oil is gonna start trying to decrease. But now that's it's closed again. Where we at? And I think it's definitely gonna impact the stock market because I'm sure different things is going on. Hey, whoever knows what's going on, some people are definitely profiting off that this whole situation that's going on. Some people are making some money behind the scenes, but yeah, chill. Donald Trump is hilarious, man. He definitely should be a comedian. He's like, oh yeah, this is what he had to say, man. He had.
We have very good conversations going on. It's working out very well. They got a little cute as they have been doing for 47 years.
They got a
Nobody ever
little
took
cute.
them on. We took them on. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no leaders. They have no nothing. Actually, their leaders are, it is regime change. You call that enforced regime change. But we're talking to them. They wanted to close up the strait again, as they've been doing for years. And they can't blackmail us.
They closed up the strait again. So Donald Trump's again, yeah, and Trump's again. You gotta stop
Stop
it.
the cap.
You gotta stop it. But yeah, so where are we? Where are we with this situation? Are we back to bombing again? Are we gonna get back to bombing? Because if they start bombing again, we start the bombing again. It's gonna be to the point where what are we gonna accomplish? What are we gonna accomplish out here? And we got to get to a certain place where it has to just stop altogether. Because if we don't stop, this is going to continue. This is going to continue, and it's going to get ugly. It's going to get uglier. So these prices are going to go up. Other things are going to go up. More people are going to lose their lives, and who's going to run the straight? That's the down bottom line of who's going to run life. We're trying to come to the negotiation. I don't understand what went wrong. Where all of a sudden now they just said, hey, nah, you know what? We're gonna bomb some of the tanks that try to run through the strait, and now we're here again. They're here again, but we never know. Like I said, no telling last time. So no telling if it's gonna be open, no telling it's gonna be closed, no telling we gonna run it, no telling if somebody else gonna run it, and we all just gotta keep paying attention and wait and see. But we here again, we here again, we here again. Another interesting thing people was talking about the 10 missing scientists, man. So they saying like these 10 scientists, they're actually responsible like creating nuclear. They have these classified information, especially on UFOs. So all of a sudden they're trying to connect these dots. Is this a coincidence, or is this just actually somebody doing something behind the scenes because they have these type of classified information that they don't want people to know, and they probably was maybe a whistleblower. I don't know, but it's just interesting now that the White House finally addressed this whole issue, and now they're basically going to try to investigate it because it was just kind of hearsay. It was just talking about it, but now people are really actually going to take this serious. So this is what Donald Trump had to say about that.
Missing science with access to classified stuff, nuclear material, aerospace. They've all gone missing or turned up dead in the last couple months. Based on what you've been briefed, what do you think is happening here, and do you think that this is connected or totally random?
Well, I hope it's random, but we're going to know in the next week and a half. I just left a meeting on that subject, so pretty serious stuff. But we're going to be hopefully, I don't know, coincidence, whatever you want to call it. But some of them were very important people, and we're going to look at it over the next short term.
10.
Honestly, I don't know if it's coincidence because it looks like a pattern, especially if you got 10 missing scientists, not like one or two, and this is like over the course of a couple of years. Like, so it's definitely somebody probably paying attention to who's the scientists and running things because just mystery why they just disappeared.
Why are the United States' top scientific minds suddenly vanishing? According to the White House, we've reached a national security breaking point. This week, the FBI was officially called in to investigate a chilling pattern. At least 10 high-level American scientists have either disappeared without a trace or died under extremely suspicious circumstances since mid-2024. The list looks like a directory of America's most classified research. It includes Monica Reza, a senior aerospace engineer and director at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab, who vanished while hiking. Also Carl Gilmer, a world-renowned Caltech astrophysicist famous for tracking asteroids, and most recently, Major General Neil McCaslin, a former commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory, who oversaw our most sensitive space and defense programs. But it's not just who they are, it's what they knew. These scientists held the keys to advanced rocket propulsion, nuclear weapon components, and even classified UFO research. Investigators are now looking at a terrifying possibility, that this isn't a series of coincidences, but a coordinated campaign of targeted abductions or espionage. Are these scientists being silenced? Are they being taken by hostile foreign powers? Or as some former officials have suggested, did they simply possess information that someone didn't want them to share? As the White House launches a formal probe, one thing is clear. The people responsible for protecting our future are disappearing, and right now, no one can say why.
Yeah, so that's definitely something that they have to investigate and they have to keep their people on. But he said hopefully we'll know what's going on by next week. So, but I don't know. But yeah, that'd be definitely something that you want to pay closely attention because they have that type of classified information and now they just don't want it to get out.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Something ain't right. Um, but yes, a lot of people was talking about, they said in April, they were increasing the age limit of people going to war, but now they had said 18 to 25, that it automatically gonna register to go to war. It's, I mean, military draft. They're gonna put you in the military draft, so you're definitely gonna be front line to go to war 18 to 25. But they increased it too. They increased it to the 35 to 42. So I don't know who from the 35 to 42, who is going to be in the right shape, right? They're going to have to do some more breakdown. You're just going to have to be a straight weight limit. You got that strict diet. Because they said, people wouldn't have fit family, kids, and things like that. They haven't ran in miles, So just to look at that first training, that day one from a 35 to 42-year-old, nah, if you wasn't like keeping up healthy, exercising, just eating the right things, nah, it's over. It's over for that type of age group. It's over. Even the younger group now, even from 18-25, some of them look older. So, but after that, 35 to 42, nah, I don't see what kind of who we battling. Like who's gonna, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like who we gonna be battling? That's just gonna automatically go out just die. Let's just go out there and die. Because you should not be in the war past a certain age. It's a reason why. So to extend a certain age, what are we doing? That's 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 not gonna help. That's not gonna help for war. Unless you just go and send people out there to shoot guns. That's about it. But any condition wise, my advice is that let's start. You just start keep focus on the robots, man. Just keep focus on the robots. Have them come out and fight the war because like hey, they don't have no time limit. They don't have no expire. But you having somebody who's 35, 42, nah, man, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Yo, that's hilarious, though. Oh, that's hilarious. They think that's gonna happen. But talking about robot, I seen something, and I was like, what? Yo, they had a robot that was breastfeeding baby. I mean, I talked about before. Different robots now they being carrying babies. They're trying to make them carry babies. But for a robot to sit there and actually breastfeed a baby, yo, that was crazy. I hope this. I hope this is fake. I hope that was fake. I hope that was fake because I told you it's just now. I mean, we're coming up on some interesting times with the technology and things like that. But if they have that technology for you to breastfeed, it's like even I can see the pushback because I guess when you're a mother, it's kind of a different bond that you kind of have, especially when you're breastfeeding a baby. So for them to take that away from the mother and actually make something, it got to be what reason? Who about this? I don't understand why. What reason? Why would you want a robot to breastfeed a baby? But I don't know. These technologies things getting even out of hand, and it's getting worrying. See something like that? Crazy, 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 crazy. Oh man. Well, let's get into the playoffs now. It's finally the playoffs. We oh, I did watch the game. I did watch the Knicks. Then let's go New York. New York still to the fullest. New York in the Atlantic. Oh, the Hawks, boy. I mean, I thought it was a close game in the half. It was definitely a close game in the half. But Knicks did what they had to do. They had to pull it out. They pulled out. Brunson was going crazy in the first half, 19 points. But it came down to a whole team effort. Obi's still doing his thing out there. Hart's still doing his thing out there. And then you got they call Anthony too. So Robinson is playing some great defense too as a center. He's giving us some good defensive to be scared of the paint. So, but yeah, so that the Raptors versus Cleveland. Cleveland took that one. I think in that series it's going to be interesting, but I think Cleveland's probably going to pull out that series unless the Raptors come back with somebody. And the Nuggets, for them Nuggets to take it away the first game. I know Anthony definitely he's not going to allow them to win at their another home. But I could see. Hmm, that's gonna be an interesting and tough series. I can't really call on there. 76 and Celtics definitely probably Celtics is definitely looking good. So I think they're gonna take it. They're gonna take that game. And then Thunder's still on the roll, so there's no beating the Thunder. And then the Pistons probably gonna go ahead and take care of the Magic. So, but yeah, I'm gonna keep watching the playoffs. It's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be interesting. Keep an eye on that. It's another thing that we like to watch. And I see some new movies is coming out. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. That movie's coming out what, the 23rd. It looks like they're gonna tell the story. Let's see how they kind of put this all together. They're definitely gonna bring the beautiful, timeless music, the legendary about Michael Jackson, and definitely give his artistry and probably the people around the scenes who helped him become who he is. So I was definitely checking out some of that trailer, and that was interesting, and it looked just like him. So it looked like he's gonna do a good job. He looked like he's gonna do a good job with that movie.
You have a very special light. Let your light shine unto the world. I believe music could change the world.
It's ambitious.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go on Michael Jackson, man. See that. Let's see that. I want to definitely see that. So yeah, check that out. 423. Shoot, and talking about Michael Jackson, everybody's going crazy for this Chris Brown and Usher tour. So everybody talking about that. Yeah, I see some people talking about they got to put the house on sale, get in the building, people selling their cars and things like that. So but it's definitely for them two to link up after all that little talking about they was kind of having a little argument, whatever, behind the scenes, and now look at it. They ended up going on tour together. So and that's something they said they was working on behind the scenes already. Because Chris Brown shows his respect to Usher, he looks up to Usher, and then got to respect, and then Usher had to respect Chris Brown, especially type of artist he is, and damn near one of the top uh, compared to Michael Jackson we have in our generation when it comes to dancing and the music itself, and then pushing the genre forward. So for them to go on tour is gonna be crazy. So you're gonna have insane dance moves, hits after hits, and then you're gonna come around Usher. I wonder if he's gonna do the cherry thing too. He might even bring back the cherry stuff. Um, so they both have their own type of way that they perform and kind of just hold things down. So that's gonna be crazy, crazy. Definitely two one of my favorite artists. Always respect them too. So definitely gonna be packed shows, sellout shows everywhere, and watch that. So definitely check that out. Talking about sold out and worldwide stuff. WrestleMania 42. People getting excited about that too. People love some damn wrestling. I had to check out the first one. They definitely had Speed was like damn near took over the show. When it came to that, WrestleMania, but it looks like John Cena, he's definitely hosting it this time. Because he kind of announced that he was retiring, so it's cool to see him out there hosting it. But tag team right off the beginning, they had the use of ISO Speed, Logan Paul, but for ISO Speed to really try to take a series, he kind of stole the show at the end, man. Definitely showed the show, when they kind of put the little acting on Logan, but they showed him Speed jump right off that table, right to the table. That was a special moment for him. He's so athletic. Great. Crazy. Even though it's all about entertainment, but it's still different techniques that you have to train, and you got to respect them guys. Going out there and giving it all, and just put on the show. That's what it's all about. Uh, even before the show, the use of they went to go see Killer Kim on his podcast, and they kind of got into it a little bit. I thought he was gonna pop out of this because I thought he was gonna come back and get his revenge, because for him to just kind of they looked like it was staged, but I felt like Cam's an actor, he's been in movies, so I thought he might pop out of there. But yeah, so this just gets good promotion just to get everybody ready to watch, WrestleMania and see what they're gonna bring to the table. So but yeah, it's not over, so definitely check out WrestleMania 42. Everybody's checking that out. You know. Oh, yeah. And everybody talking about, Dave being, finally got him to get arrested, Uh, we talked about the case that where he had found his girlfriend's body parts in a Tesla. So they finally arrested him. I guess the FBI was probably building a case against him, and they finally probably got enough evidence to go out there and arrest him. Because like I said, you put that in your music, and then for you to kind of just have her body part in the back of your Tesla, like what the hell is like case closed? Like I mean, you got to be case closed. You know what I mean? It's got to be this case closed. Because there's no explanation to have your girl body parts in the back of your car. And then you out here on tour.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so he's definitely they probably got some good evidence against him, and they're gonna close that case, and as they should close that case quick, if because I mean, there's no explanation, there's no explanation. It's a sad tragedy that happened, but it's good that they arrested him for that crime. Another thing that people have been talking about too, about the content creator Ashley, and then just getting basically with her fiance Joe. He proposed to her with her in Tanzania. None of the family wants some answers and some justice because they're trying to say that was a suicide, and there's no way that she thinks that her daughter committed suicide, and it doesn't even make sense because how do you celebrate your birthday and then your your boyfriend proposed to you, so now you're basically getting engaged. You wouldn't go ahead and commit suicide. So there's more to the story, when they was talking about it too. They said, they ended up switching to another hotel and they was arguing so much that where the person next door was complaining. So they had to actually separate themselves into another room. So they ended up being separated in two different rooms. And so it just shows a lot of motive. And he's the only one out there that kind of went with her. And then they're just trying to backtrack all the videos she was taking because she was taking pictures of with them being with the tigers, being with the different animals. Also, just the proposal, how he set it up is all nice, and supposedly he's worth like 45 million. So he definitely has money. Definitely shows all the lavish life he's been providing to her. So they just got to figure out more investigation. But it looked like maybe she proposed. She proposed. She posted her proposal. Maybe some ex or somebody caught some feelings or whatever. Maybe and seen it, and maybe she responded. Maybe he overreacted, and like I can only see why would you be arguing on vacation, and then what other reason will be behind you being mad at anybody in that type of situation? So what are y'all arguing about? So people are just trying to put that together, put puzzles together, and see what happened in that situation. Because it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense.
Influencer from New Jersey, they want answers after authorities in East Africa announced Ashley Robinson died in Zanzibar this past weekend. The 31-year-old was there with her fiance. Police say she was found unconscious in her luxury villa and later was pronounced dead at a hospital.
For influencer Ashley Robinson, known to tens of thousands of her followers as Ashley Janae, a birthday trip to a tropical paradise was supposed to be the pinnacle of a lifestyle built on travel and exploration. It was here on the East African island of Zanzibar where her boyfriend Joe McCann dropped to one knee. On Monday, we spoke to Robinson's parents.
We both had FaceTime conversations with her. She was showing us the engagement ring and where they were. She was happy. It doesn't make any sense.
In the middle of celebrating her engagement to McCann, just days after her 31st birthday, police say Robinson was rushed to a local hospital after she was found unconscious and was later pronounced dead.
We found out that our daughter had passed from the hotel. The fiance did not reach out to us at all.
Robinson's mother told another news outlet the couple had an argument so severe that hotel staff moved them into separate rooms. Investigators in Zanzibar announced Tuesday that McCann is being held for questioning. Authorities have also seized his passport pending the results of an autopsy.
So there's a lot of red flags. I mean, I don't know if they had that type of relationship with the family. 'Cause definitely something like that happens to the family, you definitely want to reach out to their parents and just say, your heart feeling it, but it feels like he's hiding something. There's more to the story. There's definitely more to the story. And now they putting like a GoFundMe. They're saying that they're raising like $50,000 just for them to have the body sent back home, so they can investigate it more, because that's gonna be really the autopsy and to see what exactly, if there's anything in her body, did it get drugged or did it physically harm, but he's definitely number one on the suspect. So they glad they took away his passport because he got some explaining to do, especially if you're not really communicating with the family. So I think that's the number one thing. Something like that tragically happens, you definitely want to reach out to their parents. But people will pay attention to that and see what's going on when it comes to that. People back talking about Jersey Drake, man. Drake was supposed to. They saying Drake was supposed to drop an album. Nah, he's not drop. I don't. Yeah, I think he's dropping one soon though. He's definitely dropping that album soon. He iced out the Raptor Toronto seat out there. So more promotion. But I think he's about to gear up probably to drop something soon. I don't know, very very soon. I feel like very soon. So people are just getting excited to just hear some new music from Drake, because like I say, he's always gonna be a great artist. They can't take anything away from him. Can't take his hits from him, and the fact that he's still in that momentum and just still has that energy to still have that hunger to go make more music. He's gonna keep giving us more music and more hits. So yeah, he had some time off. Everybody had time to miss him. Now it's time to drop some good music and get people talking about it. Get it, especially get it back on the charts. Because like they say, rap been kind of quiet. Hip hop been kind of quiet. So and then he's gonna bring that R&B, and he's gonna bring some different other type of flavor that he's gonna just have people for that pop sound that people want to have. And they say the ladies, definitely ladies miss them, and they definitely want to hear some good music. And they say it's summertime too, so it's Chinese ladies different mindset and mood, so they can hear some feeling a good mood. Hey, and we love to hear Drake music regardless. So definitely can't wait till he drops some. He's dropping the Ice Man. Yeah, everybody's waiting. Everybody's waiting to see what Drake got in store. Talking about Drake, he's out there wilding again, man. He bought a 9-foot statue. They said it looked like stage, but then some people were saying it actually looks like the person who made the statue. So but that looks crazy. So he can put that in his house.
Fails to make me laugh. This man recently commissioned a sculpture to be made, to be put into his house, of a naked woman, 9-foot sculpture. And you may be thinking, oh, that must be who it is, or his girlfriend. No, that is the sculptor. That is the sculptor. This man is operating on a different level. This is a rich move that a person like myself and others cannot even fathom. He had a baddie sculpt a baddie. Like he can put that in one of his lines on his next album.
Nah, but it looks tough. 9 foot. Tough.
I have to respect it. By the way, that's Rebecca Maria. I just want to give her a shout out. Great work. Great work. I couldn't be a sculptor. I know it's a lot of work and it's very difficult. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see when he's gonna drop it. Hey, I know he got some hits on there again. You can't deny what he does. You know what I'm saying? Especially when he's quiet. Ooh, I can't wait to hear it. He's like focus. But we'll wait and see when he drops that. Hopefully, he drops that soon. Soon. Yo, everybody's talking about this Coach Cleveland, man. Yo, who the hell is Coach Cleveland? He's got to come out. He's got to come out and say who he is because this lady's going crazy. She's saying basically she ate that guy's ass just to get her son to have him play. What?
I'm thinking about exposing my son's 7th grade basketball coach,
You already exposed
Coach
him.
Cleveland. Hey, how you doing? Yep, it's me. You wouldn't answer my fucking phone calls. You blocked me. I call you from text now. No answer. I'm finna expose you. I'm thinking about exposing you, all right? So, Michelle, I'm finna give you proof to let you know that I done sucked and ate your husband's ass out, okay? So, hold on. Now, back to Coach Cleveland. You promised me that if I sucked and ate your ass, my son would make the basketball team.
Make the
Now
basketball
you done
team?
blocked me.
Now you make just say you don't block me. Oh, what is going on?
Oh my God!
Oh no, that's crazy. So yeah, Coach Cleveland, you gotta come. You got some explaining to do first of all, because why did her son didn't play after you had an agreement to get your ass eaten out, man? She come on, like she don't did what she had to do. She exposed you too, because she told you to be tattooed. So it's crazy going on. Everybody like who's a coach and the name is Cleveland. They like, nah, this is not me. Though she's talking about. So I can't wait to when Coach Cleveland actually says something, if he says something. But I guess he probably just staying quiet because he's supposed to be married, so he can easily deny. So we'll find out who Coach Cleveland actually is. Another topic that we talked about, what I talked about is actually Mr. Tenderlet. Walter Johnson, man. He finally linked up with Keith Lee. Keith Lee wanted to give him that $4,000 tip. So they actually linked up finally, and linked up on Tamara Hall's show. So that was finally that was meant to happen.
First of all, the fact that this is the first time in person.
It is. Yeah. I feel like I've known you for years, man.
Look at here.
I told you, he's talking catchphrases. Look at here. Walter, he ain't gonna say many words.
What is it? How does it feel to be in the room with the man that really set this journey?
Hey, it's him, man.
Hey, look at him. Hey, man up above.
Absolutely.
Hey, he make things work. Hey. And he sent his folks around.
Yeah.
And he say, go on, bless him, boy. And he come on down here. Young man.
Man.
Boy, my mouth.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What you said is, this talent is the talent.
Absolutely.
But your platform allowed Walter to spread his wings.
He was going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
He was going to be exactly where he was supposed to be at all times. I'm just blessed enough to have a platform that happened to be, in this case, any part of the journey. But it's his journey that he was on anyway.
Yeah.
He's going to be where he's going to be at. For sure.
And you said Walter's going to be where he's going to be at. And guess where he's going to be at? You want to tell him?
Okay. So we're going to give him an exclusive. It's going to be at Family Day.
So that's it's great that they finally got together. Because that whole viral clip once he was supposed to get the tip, and they said the guy in the back wouldn't let him and all that. So finally, it looks like Mr. Tenderlism himself is separating and doing his own thing, and he's getting his just due. Because that was his thing, and it looked like the owner was trying to come out and trying to do his own thing now because they seen how things going viral. But it's so funny now. Even the owner, he's like now he's saying that he don't want the meat to fall off the bone now. He's like, no, the meat don't fall off the bone.
You don't want it to fall off the bone. You don't really want a pulled pork bite of this. You want to taste something where there's more pork flavor, more integrity left to the meat. But look at that bark. Look at that shine and glisten. Let me take a bite.
That ain't it.
And that's what we call a perfect bite through. See how there's no meat left on the bone where I bit, but it's still hanging on? But look at this. You don't want it to fall.
Yeah, we like, man.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
Ain't nobody eating that, nobody, that don't even look tasty. That wasn't even, yeah. So it just shows you, if you don't treat the employees or give people who actually help you put you on to certain, viral clips and it's just due. And yeah, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. Nobody wants that, We want our meat to fall off the bone, pause. Pause.
Oh, you nasty.
But yeah. So that's hilarious. That's hilarious. So shout out to definitely Walter Johnson. Keep doing his thing. Everybody keep paying attention, see what he's been doing, what he's been up to. Yeah. So let's get into some motivation. I need motivation. So this one says, try a thing you haven't done 3 times. Once to get over the fear of doing it, twice to learn how to do it, and 3rd time to figure out whether you want like it or not, Oh yeah, I agree. Try it, try something different 3 times. Okay. Yeah, I'll listen to that. Try that myself. Or that's just a life lesson, in life, You gotta just try it to just get over that fear. Definitely you want to get over the fear. Just try it the first time. Legal stuff, not incriminating. Then it says twice just to learn. Now you want to just learn what you're doing, pay attention, focus, and see if you do it. And then the 3rd time you're like, damn, do I even like what I'm doing? Can I continue doing this? Do I even like it? So I like that quote what they said. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it. But looks like that's what happy 420 is coming up. If you know, you don't know. I retired, but I still have remembered the good times, great times. So if you celebrate 420, be safe out there, and definitely enjoy that. Also, 26, April 26th, Doo-Wop was born. So so definitely happy birthday to me on so I'm glad to be here, glad to still do everything I want to do, still try to accomplish what I can try to accomplish. Yeah, so still feel blessed, yeah, it's always special. It's always special. So yeah. But when you get a chance, definitely check out this episode. That's what you can do for me if you want to give me a birthday present. There you go. But that's what I got for everybody today. Thanks for joining me for episode 98. Can't wait to do 99. Can't wait to do 99. But yeah, make sure you check out everything I do. Subscribe, leave a comment. I'll answer it back. Yeah. So what we got? Still got Skyride with G Herbo. Still got Savage with Ty Dolla Sign. Still got Keep It Real. Keep It Real. Definitely. Then. Definitely still working on more music. Definitely still working on other things to come. So just tune in, keep paying attention. But in the meantime, in between time, peace.
I love it. You guys are so great.